iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
I'm trying to take everything one step at a time. It's insane to have my Broadway debut with the show that I grew up watching. I was a huge Stranger Things fan, so it means the world. And I mean, the Tony nominations, what can I say? Just so grateful. Oh, a favorite character watching Stranger Things? Everybody loves Eleven. I mean, how can you not? But Dustin, hilarious, love the comedic relief. And I was a Steve Harrington girly for a long time. Love the hair. So the first week of rehearsals, they did this thing with the principals called Week Zero. So they brought us all in before they brought the full company in the next week. And I remember first day, I was incredibly nervous. I was shaking. I couldn't really, it was kind of like the Charlie Brown effect where it was like, wah, 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 when people were trying to talk to me. And I felt so bad because people were trying to connect, but I was just in a totally different world. Because growing up, I had always wanted to be on Broadway, but I never thought that I would have the courage. So it felt like I had finally reached the mountaintop, and I didn't know what that was supposed to feel like. Was I supposed to be excited or happy, or, what does that moment look like? So I was really in my head and just freaking out and trying not to show it, but it was a crazy, incredible experience. Yeah, so for the longest of time, we were rehearsing without any of the special effects, without any of the set pieces. And reading it on the page, you're kind of like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pull this off? Things exploding, quick changes, and Demogorgons on the stage. What is that gonna look like? So we had to play pretend, professional pretend for a really, really long time. And then when we finally moved to the theater, it was just an astronomical change for all of us to kind of learn how to interact with these special effects, interact with all of the incredible visual and sound effects that coincide with our performances, and how do we create a symbiotic universe so it doesn't feel like you have the special effects and then you have the acting. So that was a learning curve for us because we had just nothing and then we had everything all at once. The audience is truly the last cast member, and they make such a difference in our performances because when we have a quiet show, it looks one way, and then when we have a rowdy audience, it looks another. So it's really a vibrant aspect to the performance, and I love hearing people scream because we're working so hard on stage. It's such an amazing payoff when people are jumping, screaming, clapping. We love it. We adore it. I'm still trying to learn my self-care routine because I wasn't a self-care girly before doing Stranger Things: The First Shadow because, I wasn't running around trying to escape the mind flayer or anything like that. So I try and take baths to decompress and ice whatever hurts in between the two show days and, just be gentle with myself. Listen to calming music. That's my vibe. Oh, I think the mind flayer is definitely an iconic moment in Act 2 when she comes down and she says hello to the audience. That is a moment that is jaw-dropping for us backstage because we're just listening to the audience, and then every night it's the same thing. People are cheering, people are gasping, some people are screaming because it's terrifying. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the show. Oh, I think that something that keeps me grounded through it all is really understanding that it can all go away like that. I try not to believe my own hype because none of it's real. None of it's, actually tangible. It's just a blip in time. It's a moment in time, and it can pass, and it will pass. So I think that just keeping that in mind has been a good compass for me. And in between work, I'm trying to learn what I like to do because since I was 13, I've been running, and there's been no time for anything. I grew up basically on a soundstage. So as we go through the run for Stranger Things: The First Shadow, and I have my days free, I want to explore New York, and I want to, just try and build what Gabrielle likes to do, outside of the passion and the dream of becoming the GOAT, whatever that means. So yeah, I think I also enjoy fencing. I kind of gave that up for a little while, and that's one of those things that you have to upkeep. So I don't know, maybe I'll get back into fencing, but right now just resting. Oh, the first theater show that I saw in person was The Lion King, and it's such an iconic one. And it was a trip to New York. I was about 12 years old. We went to go see The Lion King, and we saw Wicked. And I remember loving both of them, but I have such vivid memories with Wicked because it's one of my mom's favorite shows. So it was nice to go with her and just see her reaction, and she's kind of looking over at me do you like it? So just good memories there. Oh, I really want to see maybe Happy Ending. I haven't had a chance to see it, and I want to go across the street and see John Proctor. Pump up songs. It's funny because I kind of like counterbalance the stress of the show with calming music. So I love worship music. I love listening to this song Chosen because it reminds me that I have a purpose outside of acting and outside of the industry. And, I am a human being. So I was chosen for beautiful things and for this beautiful life. And as far as like a pre-show ritual, warming up is vital, which I didn't know. Burke Swanson, who plays Hopper during the rehearsal process, was like, hey, you're gonna wanna find a good warm up. And I was like, I'm fine, I'm young. I was like 19 at the time when we started. And yeah, he was definitely right. Definitely need to stretch and warm up before the show. That's a pivotal part. If I don't, the show's gonna be a little rough that day. Oh, I can't tell you that. They're gonna be so, okay. I am really good friends with Allison J, who plays Joyce. She's my dressing room mate, which is a whole new experience for me because coming from TV and film, I had always had my own dressing room, and then coming to Broadway, you share a dressing room with someone, and I was incredibly nervous about that experience. Like, I didn't know. I was homeschooled, and I didn't go to college, so I was like, is this like a dorm room? Like, what do we do? But she is the best, and Burke Swanson, who plays Hopper, and Juan Carlos, who plays my onstage brother, is absolutely fantastic, and I'm just grateful to like have this community because we're like a small village. There's 34 of us, and over half of us, it's our Broadway debut, so we're all kind of like leaning on each other and trying to figure it out together and just taking it bit by bit and giving each other grace. Oh, I would rather hang out in Hawkins for sure because the Upside Down, it's a little spooky in there. Oh, I think I'd have a better chance with the Mind Flayer because like I could just, in theory, put on my headphones because the Mind Flayer is, like, they work in tandem with Vecna, so just put on my headphones and listen to music, right? I think so. A Hawkins monster attack? I feel like Patty would definitely survive because she's just so, like, determined and ambitious. I think that she would definitely try and do her best to fight the Demogorgons or run and hide or try and see the good in them, try and fix them.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.